now I have the entire diaper pin and put together. This is what it looks like. Now, as you can see, I put the pins right literally on the edge. That way it's not going to mess with the diaper. And some people will just again use the clips instead of this. I rather use the actual pins. I just enjoy it, or I not necessarily enjoy it, I just find it is easier with this. It's less heavy too, because the clips do add some weight to it, and when I'm running through a sewing machine it's just a lot easier. Now the next thing that we're going to be doing is actually sewing this, which I'm really excited about. We're gonna get I'm gonna get the sewing machine ready, sitting right here. I already have white thread on it, so I don't have to change the color on it. And I am going to, since this is a cover, I am going to start from here, and I'm going to leave a little opening here, big enough to be able to turn the diaper inside out. And once we're done with the diaper and it's time for top stitching, my little baby lion hairs, don't mind them. Once we're ready for top stitching, then we're going to close that spot right there. This is the same spot that's going to allow us to actually get the elastic in here. There's different methods to do the elastic. I rather do the one that I do. I find it to be a lot easier and less stressful. I just did not like the other method whatsoever. But again, this is all personal preference and it's all up to you. So let me get the sewing machine ready, and then we're going to sew up this baby. So now the diaper is completely done. This is what it looks like, with the exception, well, at least this part, not completely done, but the sewing all around is completely done. I left an opening so I can turn my diaper inside out. We're gonna go ahead and cut all these extra little threads around the diaper, and we are going to turn this. I am so excited to see how this turns out. Another thing that you will probably need to do is cut the corners at a little angle. So when you turn them and you push them out, you'll have a nice little corner, square corner look that you see on the diapers, or you find on the diapers. Now you just want to be careful when cutting the corners. You'll make sure that you are not getting too close to the stitch line. So now everything's completely done and ready to go. I cut the little corners here. As you can tell, the diaper is put together for the most part. Now we're going to turn this around. And I did leave an opening for that. So usually I just put my fingers in there and kind of push the fabric up. And I grab a corner of the diaper. So like this, then I'll take this finger and I will turn this in towards my finger, and now I have the diaper. Now, if you left too small of an opening, you just want to be careful pushing the fabric through. Sometimes I have done that accidentally. I have forgotten and I kept on sewing, and by the time I looked, it was too small. But right now, this is my embroidery coming out. Never mind. And this is what the diaper's looking like so far. So little by little, you're just going to keep turning your diaper. And at this point, I just tend to do this. Now I'm simply going to start with one of the corners here, and I'm going to push it through. And then now leaves me with the last corner, and that easily comes through as well. And once you turn your diaper inside out, it kind of looks like this. Just got to push these little corners out. I purchased this a while ago when I went to a seminar. Now the opening for your cover is actually underneath here. So you're going to find that. And I usually just take this and help push the corners out. There we go. Now you can use something that's not sharp. Just have to be careful not to puncture through the fabric. And then I just do this, so for corners. And then now the diaper and the corners look like this. Now we're gonna get to a to the point where we're going to top stitch the diaper. Some people leave their diapers without top stitching. I personally don't like it. I feel like it can mess with the function of the diaper. Some people just don't do the elastic portion. They don't do the whole diaper at all. And this is where they end with their diaper. They put the elastic and the snaps on it. So I want you to remember this, how this looks now, and then we're going to top stitch towards the end, and I want you to see the huge difference it makes. Next step I am going to do is I am going to do the casing for the elastic. Now if you remember, we also marked those with little blue spots on here, so I know that my elastic casing is going to go from here all the way down to here. Now that may seem like a super long casing, but remember, when you put your elastic in, your diaper is actually going to get a lot smaller. So I'm going to do those first, and I'm also going to do the one for the back here. The elastic for this one goes from here to here. I'm going to do that as well. Once I have those casings done, I am actually going to continue stitching, and I am sewing really, and I'm going to do the top stitching for this portion here, because once the elastics are in this diaper, for that, the upper part here, then I don't have to worry about going back and doing that. And then once we do the elastic on the legs here, then I'll finish top stitching this, because that's when this is going to get closed up. And the last thing we're going to have left to do, it's going to be at the snaps on the wings. Alright, so for the elastic, what I do is I align my fabric with the foot right here. I look for my mark, and then I go all the way down straight. Don't forget to go back and forth at the beginning and at the very end of your sewing. Now that I've done the elastic casings, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the top stitching, which is going to be on here. Now this, I usually move the needle over to get as close as I can to the edge here, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in a little bit. This is preference. Some people do the top stitching wider, or they do it really close to the edge right there. Alright, so right now I have my center here marked. I actually use a permanent marker to mark that to see it a little bit better. And I have my fabric aligned on there. Now I can leave it there and top stitch that way, or I can move my needle over to kind of get it closer to the edge of the fabric. Again, this is going to be personal preference. This is what it looks like so far. And see how much nicer the diaper looks. So I'm going to go ahead and finish top stitching the diaper on the other side. For some reason the camera's refusing to focus, and the sewing machine decided that it just does not want to cooperate today. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly get through this portion of it, and then we're going to go ahead and get back with the elastic. So I have all of the casing for the elastic done on the diaper. So I have the ones on the side here and the one up here, and I also went ahead and top stitch the upper, well technically this is the back part of the diaper, and this is what it looks like. It looks a lot better versus just leaving your diaper like this. So this is what the inside is looking like. So you have your shiny side out, soft side, and soft side.